All right, welcome back and welcome to episode 165 of Those Millennials podcast. Today I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful, always thankful, blessed host, K the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life.
You're
Jesse's
also the
here.
host every day.
I'm always the what?
You're also the host every day. So
Oh,
there's that part. Because you said today I'm the host, it's like,
oh
nah,
man,
you're
look,
always the
man.
host.
See, you fucked up my intro, man. Then you just threw me. Honestly, if you told me to just say my intro, I couldn't say it because I just have it programmed in my head. Then I just say it.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Hat Jesse's back. Hey Jesse, how you doing, man? How's your mental health? How's your pockets?
Also, Black Air Force One. No, I'm just playing. I ain't got no black. Um, I'm good. I'm doing good, man. No complaints here. It's gonna be a fun weekend of doing busy stuff, being busy. But I'm good, man. I'm good.
uh,
I want to clear one thing up,
yeah.
or I want to admit my ignorance and stupidity. Uh, I said I forgot who we were comparing them to, or not comparing them, but I said Roots is not as influential as another group.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually very wrong. Listen, and that's my West Coast and East Coast rep bias, or listening bias, but it's also like, or I wouldn't say East Coast, like New York, because Philly's East Coast too. But also just they didn't get played a lot throughout the years on the West Coast, so I didn't really know, or I didn't really follow like super follow them. I listen to their albums; they're
Yeah,
always
nobody
amazing.
around
But
me listened to like conscience. I can't say the word
conscious.
conscience rap for
I mean, I do. It's just one of
like
those things where it was not them in particular, because of the way they did it
yeah,
and everything was already, a left turn from even conscious rap. It was,
yeah,
having a live band and or
yeah,
being a live band and all that. But they have a huge influence in Philly.
yeah.
Obviously, they have the Roots picnic every year, and they've had it forever. But even beyond that,
I
when he
forget.
was,
Were they what they were in the top five, right? Or top 10?
I think top 10. But um, they have a huge influence in Philly. They are welcoming to new acts and everything. When I was listening to People Party with Talib, and he had Black Thought as the guest, and they were just going through his album. It's like, oh yeah, and then he's like, this person introduced the world to Beanie Siegel, to Freeway, to all the State Property, and it was like, damn, he did have them on the track, did have Jill Scott on the track, he did or introduced the world to Jill Scott, did do all that, and it's like, damn, I'm so stupid. So
The Roots are
that's
legends, right? That's
ignorance.
all it is. The
It's
Roots.
just ignorance, can't know everything in the hip hop world.
I
But
understand.
they
Uh,
deserve to definitely be in top 10 and arguably top five.
Rel's here. Rel, how you doing? How's your mental health? How's your pockets?
What's Gucci Mane?
uh, thank you as
But that's
always.
what we do here. We admit our ignorance. We don't just let it
Oh yeah,
go
man.
by
I've done that
and
plenty of
then
times.
act
I'll
like
come
we
in and be
never
like, yo, I
said it
fucked up
or
on this.
said what we said, or we just keep going and trying to exasperate it
Nah,
as if,
stand 10 toes
yeah.
on that. Jesse, stand 10 toes on that. Rail, stand 10 toes. That damn, why can't the Migos is a top three hip hop group of all time. Rail ain't budging from that.
It's just wrong. Like it's just not. I'm not gonna. You can stand 10 toes all you want. You're just wrong.
100%. We'll get to other debates when we get to the not list. But as always, I always want to thank for our listening audience. We appreciate you guys. Those who are listening to us on Spotify, those who are listening to us on Google Play, SoundCloud, Apple, of course. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and thank you for spending time and listening to us. And those our newest medium. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you guys want to just see us, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. Help the pods go a long way. I think we just reached 60 subscribers, so thank you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Um, wasn't wanna. So we're gonna do a sneaker news update. We're gonna talk about leaks, and then we're gonna talk about Kyrie's new sneaker deal. I want to talk about ESPYs. I want to talk about Emmys. But first, as always, I want to get to our not list. Bro, wait, do you want to talk about Summer League before we get to not list or no?
We can talk about Summer League if you want to.
So real quick before we get to not list, obviously Rel and I went to Summer League day one Friday. Rel got there late. No, Rel went to work. I got there when it first opened. The line was wrapped around the fucking Thomas and Mack. It was crazy. But yeah, it was a really strange crowd. We stayed there like a whole 6 hours, like it was a job. Saw all the games except the Laker game. We didn't stay for the Laker game. Who did we see? Real Bomani Jones. Who do we see? Damn. Why can't I think of the legend that sat behind us, Real?
Mark J. Spears.
Shout out to Mark J. Spears, who sat behind us with his kids, didn't even have his media pass. Shout out to him. Hall of Fame, Mark J. Spears. The only thing I would complain about is they moved the media area. The media area is normally, I want to say, on the opposite side of the bowl, but they moved it. I don't know, for some strange reason. I didn't necessarily like where it was, but yeah, it was a good showing. Scoot Henderson, before he got hurt, we got to see the first 3/4 of Scoot Henderson look like a fucking absolute monster. Comfortable. It looked like he's not good. Nobody's gonna be able to stay in front of him to get to the rim. And then we saw the bad game of Victor Wembanyama. So great experience. Go ahead, Ro.
I mean, overall, I think it was pretty dope. Everything, the whole weekend, I think what the NBA is doing for Vegas right now, how they rolling out this whole weekend is pretty dope. Saturday was pretty dope too. Being in there Friday, it was something that I had never felt before as far as energy wise. Like I go to a lot of I've been to a few playoff games, but for a summer league game, you know, I was talking to Dustin. He said like maybe Zion was kind of like this, the earthquake, the earthquake game, but
My lady went to go see that.
the fact that we were in New York.
We was in New York. That's what I said. We was in New York when that happened.
Yeah, and the fact that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was there watching Victor Wembanyama, like just everybody was there.
The crazy part is, so not to cut you off, I'm sorry. But so after Scoot's game, right after Scoot versus the Rockets game, which was probably no cap, was probably the best summer league game I've ever seen in my entire life, and I've been to like 4 years of summer league. The crowd, those players got off the court, and then Victor came out, and the whole arena, top bowl, stood up and just watched him while he was warming up on the court. It was just
all the reporters.
Everybody stood up.
Bomani Jones.
Rel and I was the only one that was still seated. We was just looking around like.
And then
was that us just being like, we've seen this dude one time before?
I mean, me seeing him in the first ever game in America.
We've seen two. He's played 3 games on American soil. We've seen 2. Well, 4. He's played 4 games in American soil. All of them in Las Vegas, and we've seen 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't go Sunday, but yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, like I said, it was just crazy. The crowd was crazy. Like I said, it just and I want to mention something. Just other than maybe some of the bad shots and shit people take, the competitive level that you see before they pull these guys out, or it was up there. Guys were getting dunked on. You get your ass out the lane.
That Trailblazers and Rockets game was not. I'm trying to tell you, that was the best summer league game I've ever seen in my entire life.
So the energy in the building, shout out to everybody everybody was just
sold out first ever. I don't think it's the first ever sold out, but it was sold out the first day. Couldn't hold a seat. Rel was going to get his concessions, and he didn't want to get up because you could lose your seat. It was like that. The upper bowl started filling up. There was a packed house to watch Victor. That for that Friday game, and then. I don't even want to talk about all the stupid negative things that people were saying on that Friday. And then Saturday, he played better. But, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about Summer League real quick and talk about our experience. So, all right. So, first on the not list, This is one of my favorite ones off rip. So it got announced yesterday for the 2023 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. I want to just talk about some of the presenters for some of the Hall of Famers that's going to be uh, inducted to the Hall of Fame. So Dwayne Wade selected Allen Iverson to be his presenter, which I think is going to be dope. I can't wait to see that. Dwayne Wade is probably the headliner for this year's Hall of Fame, and Allen Iverson will be his presenter. I think that's going to be fly. Tony Parker's presenters is going to be obviously Manu Ginobili and Tim Duncan. I think that's dope and right on brand. Dirk Nowitzki, who's going to the Hall of Fame, is going to be Jason Kidd and Steve Nash. I think that's pretty fly, right on brand. Becky Hammon, who's going into the Hall of Fame as well, head coach of the unstoppable, unguardable Las Vegas Aces. She's going into the Hall of Fame, and her presenters are going to be Cheryl Swoops and Teresa Weatherspoon. And last but not least, Pau Gasol, his presenter is going to be Tony Kukoc. So I think that's pretty dope. Pretty good presenters. I mean, obviously, Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time. Allen Iverson is like, one of my top 10 players of all time. I think that's going to be just dope. And just how Allen Iverson talks about the game now. He's like one of the last legends and OGs that talks about the game and really still is in awe of the people that still play or still, that still came out of the last generation. So I think that's going to be dope. And Dwayne Wade just has this.
Pretty sure a lot of players remind him of him.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially the way the game's played today. Especially
his influence is the reason why I felt like the rap hip hop culture is the reason why it is the way it is today.
Yes.
Because rappers want to be AI and AI want to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's dope. And also I just really feel like when Pau Gasol goes in, I can't help but think that, Kobe wouldn't have been,
That's true. I thought about that as well. I think if Mamba was still alive, Kobe would have been his presenter, and that would have been. Rell, you just took me down the slippery slope again, where I just like, man, we were selfishly, very, very selfishly, we were robbed to never get that Kobe Bryant speech at his Hall of Fame. We got Vanessa Bryant, who did an awesome job, but we never got Kobe doing what we knew Kobe would like. That would have been an all-time of him up there, standing up there for like 7, 10, however long they'd be up there for a long ass time, 10 minutes, just talking about the coaches, his competitors that he had to go through that pushed him. And I think that would have been so dope. And it's just every time that it gets brought up, I just think about that, like that moment was taken from us. And just RIP Kobe, man. Shout out to 2K for doing the right thing, by the way, for putting him on the cover again. I don't care. People weren't mad, but people was like, this is his 4th time on the cover. And it's like, yeah, but I'm glad 2K did the right thing again.
24.
Yeah, like
come on. People just must comment, must have an issue with.
People not having issues with
issue. Just must say something. Like who? It's 24. It only makes sense. Like what? What is so somebody else gets on it, and what does it make you feel that much better if somebody else is on it? No, it's just a cover. Like,
this is probably just a me thing where it's just like I'm so into basketball Twitter, and I'll see stuff and I'll just go into the comment section and I do a temperature check and I just check the temperature and I just be like, oh, Denver fans are mad that Joker's not on the cover. Get the fuck out of here. He probably say no anyway.
Name a thing Joker has done that he does. He doesn't do shit.
He doesn't look like he plays video games, guys. He wants to race horses and
he's not gonna come back to do the whole shit. He's not gonna do all that. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that. So it's like, what are y'all talking about? What, Jamal Murray? There's always next year. This one just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Like, come on.
Believe me, I have to.
And it's gonna make you feel that much better. What? It's gonna become a collectible to you. You're gonna collect that cover.
I will say this 100%. I haven't bought a hard copy of 2K in a long time. I probably will buy this hard copy of 2K.
Oh no, exactly. That's where I was getting to that point where it's like, how many of you would have bought the fucking hard copy?
I haven't
Chill.
I haven't gone into
Ah,
Target and bought a game and went to the dude and say, "Hey, can you open that thing? I want that." I haven't done that in the longest of time. I just download my shit, but
I will also
I
say,
probably will cop that. Um, all right, so that was number one on that list. Number two on that list, my notes are still telling me to go to my phone. All right, Jesse, it's your time to shine.
not really.
For the first time since 1960, both actors and writers have officially gone on strike, completely shutting down film, television projects in Hollywood and across the world. I've already seen stuff on Twitter, which is again, it just happened today, but I've already seen shows that were already postponed. Like there was an article that I saw literally an hour ago where they said Euphoria has been pushed back to 2026, which I kind of believe. Um, I wonder if this is gonna affect what's gonna happen in the Marvel universe, which they had a whole planned out situation. But yeah, Jesse, I'm talking too much. So you, as our resident actor, what do you think about this, and what should happen? Go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, tough. I gotta say, this is how, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's some real, like, I want to say pay up, but it's not even about the money in this aspect. It's like, I may be over dramatic about this, but this is the fight to keep an art form alive.
Yeah,
It's the fight to keep an art form alive. You know, many art form have like gone under, like, not have not been as big as they once were. This is one of the ones that has kept it, even though it's gone through its changes, and it's going through its biggest change now, which is, or it's gone through it, and you know, you gotta pay people or compensate people correctly for the change that's happening. So, and then if they don't, the art form can literally die out because the two biggest things that threaten it: AI and giving your likeness, and streaming
I would
and
say.
not getting the
Um,
residuals.
I want to ask
And
you a question, Jesse, because you know more about this than I. Why it seemed as a consumer, as just as person as who consumes movies and obviously TV shows like we all do. I read articles all the time about all the fucking money that these movies are making, right? Especially this year. Like this, when I talk about a year of blockbusters, we're in the summertime, right? We're in the summertime where there's blockbusters are hitting, right? Like literally, me and Rel was
They've all
talking
have
about it
flopped.
today, where next week Oppenheimer is going against fucking the Barbie movie, right? Like, and it's a big
yeah,
Hollywood, like, head to head for who's gonna come out on top of that week, right? This week it's Tom Cruise's Day of Reckoning, why can I Mission Impossible.
Mhm.
Like the last 2 weeks we had, this summer cycle, we had Spider-Man, we had Transformers, we had The Flash. Like we had a whole bunch of, again, I know The Flash flopped, but like we had a whole bunch of blockbuster movies. It seems like everybody's getting money. Like what? Like how did we get to this point?
that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, at the end of the day, it's about the money, but we got to this point because they found a loophole in the system. And when I sit there and say, like, all right, it's not just about the money. Of course, at the end of the day, it's about the mighty dollar, but it's about like the idea that, hey, you are getting paid off of this and we are not. You have changed your format and did not well compensate us for that and found that out. It's similar to, the best thing I can compare it to that people probably know better is, all right, putting your music on any of these streaming channels, right? Any of these streaming music. And then it's like, it's always talked about Spotify, you getting like 0.0003 of a penny for
Right.
each stream. You, for 1 million streams, you don't even make that much money. That's what it is. People, they have found this space where they can create this contract, and then it doesn't compensate for that because it was going off of old bases. And now it's that plus AI. If I give you my likeness, if I agree to my likeness, if you do a commercial, you sign a certain amount of years for your likeness, for for how long it's going to run, and if it's going to continue, they have to re-sign that contract, right? But if you just gave your likeness away, they could make a whole new commercial, put your face on it, and use AI to use your voice, and you get paid the same amount.
That shit's crazy.
Because they're gonna go off, and they're going off a different contract now. First and foremost, I should be compensated for you to even be willing to do that. But on top of that, it's like you're not paying. Now you can come back to me with a lower contract. Like, well, actually, all we did was use your likeness. We didn't even use you physically. We didn't have to pay you for all those things. So we're just gonna pay you for your likeness. That's a whole different contract.
So, in your opinion, and we can close it. Rell, do you have anything to say about this, or? Okay. In your opinion, I know you don't know, right? You know, but how long do you expect this to go to stand? When is the breaking point? When is this gonna let up? When is the
biggest mistake they
writers
did
and the actors gonna get paid?
No, the biggest mistake they did was not getting the writers on board. Like that was the biggest mistake they made, because now you made
now they got the actors involved. Yep.
The actors are more like like the actors are more like, yo, like, no, the writers are more militant. The actors are more like, fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? The ones that are gonna hurt are the ones that don't make as much as obviously the top. There's another problem. There's a wage scale, and it's the gap is becoming bigger between middle class actors and high class actors. Like, it's becoming a huge.
And then
gap.
what's not being talked about is the people that work on these shows, the electricians,
all that stuff,
the people that the cast, the people that do all the sound people, like all those people are not being talked about in this shit too. They're being affected, and their families are being affected too.
To answer your question, it's gonna last, and this is not, a definitive answer. There's not nothing. I was telling people, like, even knowing very little, I was like, this is something, just knowing those two like biggest bases, I was like, this is not gonna just, if the writers are fighting for this, what do you think the actors are gonna do? Because it's like, and the writers are very much we're equally important, but the writers make the material, so it's like they're they are the basis. So
Issa was like, I'm double whammied now, because she's a writer and actor. She was like, I'm double whammied now.
But the thing is, and that's a lot. That's actually a lot of actors that's falling in this, and some people are losing like their overall deals and some of this stuff. But I say all that to say it's gonna last as long as it takes to actually have an impact on
Hollywood.
the industry.
So I know movies. I know some movies are already done for like next summer, right? So we're talking about movies projected for like 2025 and 2026 are going to be affected, right?
It's not even just about movies. It's
shows too. I'm sorry, I always say movies, but shows too.
Yeah, the movies, no matter whatever that was coming out next year, it was already. It's pretty much.
I'm saying those part are close to done or being done.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying like 2025 and 2026 are going to be affected.
At the end of the day, it could be. They could try to save it, but yes, depending on how long that takes. But
it's like sneakers. It's like shoes. Yeah,
they're playing the long game on that one. Yeah. I'm talking about literally this fall. Nothing's being filmed for this fall.
Yeah,
nothing's being filmed for this fall. Yeah. So and that's TV shows. And as much as these big blockbusters come out and everything, these studios that own these TV shows and all that stuff, this is the one that's the consistent money that comes in. And you're going to tell them this is a whole season that comes out. They're going to try to starve actors out. They're going to try to starve writers out. The problem is you're talking to a bunch of people that starved to get here in the first place. They know what starving's like. And some are still already still starving. So it's like they know what this feeling is already. So you're not going to starve them out. What's going to happen is the effect that the biggest effect, which is the outpour for all those other people that work on these, that are part of the production, all the other people. You're messing with their pockets now.
Right.
Now they put pressure onto you. That's one of those things. You can make it, and you can make it seem as, oh, it's not our fault as much as you want. They are on the side of actors and stuff. So that's what, and actors and writers. So that is going to be one of them. And the other one is, it's going to take as long as it takes to. Because you can bring in all these, you can bring in writers, you can do AI scripts, but you don't have actors.
You don't have actors doing it,
and no actor is going to want to cross that line. No actor's going to want to cross that line.
Yeah, because then it says a lot. You're not standing with your brothers and sisters. Yeah, it says a lot. It says a lot about you.
You're going to get blackballed. So 100%. One of these things where it's like all that can happen, but and then it's like. But if the quality ain't good either, the people don't watch. And that is the biggest one, is when you don't have people watch it anymore. So all those things that they're doing right now, you think you're going to starve people out? You could do it all you want, but it's at the end of the day, how big of an impact are you willing to take on your fall season?
Well said, Jesse. Appreciate it, man. We'll see. Hopefully, Fast, the last Fast and Furious movie is done.
Right. All right. Remember when COVID happened? Remember what they were putting on TV?
They were still putting on TV. Yeah.
I'm just saying, not they were still what they were putting on TV. Once everything got shut down, it was not great.
They rushed the documentary so we could watch it, Jesse. They gave us The Last Dance, Jesse.
Oh yeah,
they rushed The Last Dance so we could watch it.
And then we had what's his
podcasts, footage from 20 years ago.
They were talking from shit for 20 years ago, bro.
But think about it this way.
What we did? And you know what we did, Jesse? We ate it up.
Kev, that was June. What we do in July? What we do? I'm talking about you. See, they gave us enough for 1 month. It's like, where do we go? You know what I'm saying? They started doing other documentaries. They better get that Tom Brady one ready. They better get that Tom Brady on. You know what I mean?
Number 3 on the not list. This one's gonna be quick. I know this is not a new trend, but I feel like it's been happening a whole lot more. But what's with fans throwing shit at performers on stage so frequently in the recent weeks and months? We've seen Drake get, obviously with the occasional panties and bras, that's been going on forever, so I'm not talking about those.
You said,
but I'm talking about fans throwing shoes and phones at performers. And then
people are weird, man.
Lotto yesterday had somebody threw something at her and she was screaming on stage that she'll beat their ass. But like, why would you throw your phone on stage? I mean, I understand. I've seen artists ask, fans to throw their phone so they can take a selfie or a picture or whatever with their phone. Like I've seen that before. But people are literally like throwing their phones to like hurt performers. I don't
know, man. It's just weird. That's all I can say. I have no answer for this. It is very weird. Like you pay the
water bottle thing is just stupid. Like you're drunk or you're just being a stupid person. You're a bad person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's just stupid. But like the people that are throwing their shoes, like if we want, we can find out who threw this shoe. Somebody in here is missing a shoe.
We can find out who threw the shoe. We can easily find out who threw the phone. This is. Like that's why I don't understand it. But it's not
you're
even
not gonna
just
find out who water bottle that is. Like it's just. I think it's just.
You gonna have to live with that. But
my thing is, you literally paid to see this artist, right? Like you're there to watch them perform. Why are you throwing?
You also risk a very, very contentious situation of like a mob mentality trying to jump a person first. Because if Drake was like, who threw this at me? water bottle and walked off the stage, everybody's fighting.
Everybody's mad. Yeah.
Everybody's fighting. He's not even mad. They already mad because he stopped the show. And then that wrong person, it was him.
Right.
And
somebody gonna tell.
Drunk.
Somebody gonna for sure. Somebody gonna tell.
Yeah, here's the thing. That somebody ain't gonna tell. Somebody's just gonna go, it was him. It don't even matter if it's right or wrong, like the right person.
My question
is, it was him. All you got to do is point to one person, and everybody just starts going off on that person. So you are inciting a potential riot. Like, come on, like, chill. What are you doing?
The thing that's weird to me too is like, especially in the Drake case, like this show that he's doing, it's all a Blur show. Like, have y'all seen the songs that he's performing at this show? It's fucking incredible. Look What You've Done, Marvin's Room, Say Something, Shot For Me, Can I, Feel No Ways, Jaded, Jungle, Over, Headlines, The Motto, Hell Fucking Yeah, Started From the Bottom, Energy, Know Yourself, Nonstop, Sicko Mode, Way Too Sexy, Back Outside Boys, Jumpman, Laugh Now, Cry Later, God's Plan. Like, he's playing... He's playing like some of his biggest hits, right?
I just thought. I don't.
In
I
My
don't
Feelings, like this is the set list.
Yeah, this concert is the shit. I mean, I don't know why people are doing dumb shit like that when you pay money just to possibly get thrown in jail for some goofy shit. But overall, I mean, this concert is amazing. I wish people would stop. I assume that it's just some kids, but they gotta stop doing
like
this shit.
The panties in bra shit. Like, that's cool. If you obviously female, you get your shit off. Like that's cool. But like all that other goofy shit is just goofy. All right, let me try to go faster on these not list ones. Number 4 on the not list. This one's actually I think this was announced yesterday. NFL Films has selected those fighting New York Jets to be a part of to be on Hard Knocks. So what do y'all think of them picking the Jets to be on Hard Knocks?
Because there's requirements how they pick a team. They don't just randomly pick this team.
What's the requirements? That's interesting. What's the requirements?
It can't have a first year head coach. It can't make the playoffs in the previous. It has to be a team that didn't make the playoffs the previous year.
Okay.
I know those are 2 for sure that I know, but there's like 4 or 5 requirements that. So there was only like the Saints, the Bears,
the Colts. They did us recently too, though. They did us like 2 years ago. Oh, yeah, and we got a new head coach, right?
Yeah, first year head coach. So it can't be a first year head coach. And so I mean, the list was thin. It was like the Bears, Saints, and Jets. I think we're down to the 3. It's gonna be interesting because Aaron Rodgers there. But honestly, I think what's really interesting is this show that they put on Netflix this week.
Oh yeah.
That shit, like I said,
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard about it.
To get a little insight of the modern day Michael Jordan of football.
Patrick Mahomes. Patrick.
Mahomes. Just to get a little taste of what a GOAT does, because I mean he's just the greatest NFL football player to ever live. I mean,
everything's the top 5, the greatest you ever lived. Anyway, all right, number 5 on the not list.
You can check many of actual.
No, I'm fucking with you.
And say that Patrick
he's definitely
Mahomes
the most talented
quarterback to ever.
Definitely he's definitely probably the most.
Because I think he is already. I think he's better than Peyton.
He's probably the most gifted quarterback ever. I was just
Dan and all of them.
Number 5 on the not list. So last week, Tony Yayo went to Drink Champs, and him and DJ FN got into a heated viral.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever seen the FN do something like that.
He was hot. He was hot. And he's usually, I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, I think we've talked about how, Nori's not the best interviewer. Like, I don't think that's crazy.
He's usually the one asking the better questions.
And then once he gets twisted, the show gets better because everybody's faded, but like the questions kind of go down like that. And DJ FN is the one that kind of like steers the ship, right? Mm-hmm. But he was very emotional. He got upset because Tony Yayo.
I was going to turn into, and that's how I kind of feel like all the Tony Yayo like gatherings are.
I see why Tony Yayo went to jail.
And they get loud and get hit and all that. I feel like that's what it is, but it'd be fun.
They don't.
But,
Yeah, they don't know. Wait,
but a
hold on.
nigga
People don't
might
know what I'm
fight.
talking about. Yeah. So Tony
Yeah.
Ayo and DJFN went back and forth because Tony Ayo was demonstrably in period was trying to shame DJ AFN for him having Ice Cube as his favorite rapper of all time, and Tony Ayo had Biggie as his favorite rapper of all time. And the back and forth was basically Tony Ayo saying, "Is Ice Cube a better storyteller than Biggie?" And DJ Fence, it was like, yes. And that's kind of how it sparked. So before you go, Jesse, because I know you want to unload, and I know Rell probably want to unload too. For me, this is look at Jesse's face. This is where I've gone. I do this with basketball topics too, because people just, obviously want to argue the LeBron thing and Jordan thing to me and I've just now no longer entertained it. As long as the person that you're arguing is at the level, because like everybody has their own favorites, everybody lists changes, everybody values other shit differently. As long as they're compatible, like if somebody was to just be like,
actually comparable, not compatible.
if somebody was to be like Soulja Boy is the greatest rapper of all time, like I mean that's pretty extreme. But if somebody was to say Birdman or somebody was
chill, bro. Chill, Kev.
it was the greatest, then you look at them different. But like
leave Birdman out of
no,
this, bro.
like I'm not gonna challenge people if somebody like there's a dude. So I don't know. How many minutes we have done in this podcast? So I don't know if I want to talk about this person because this person probably listens. But anyway, there's this guy at this delivery stop that I do pretty much every week, right? I don't know what Boosie did to this dude, but he comes up to me in the most respectful way. I don't even know how to say this. This dude is not all the way there, right? So he's not all the way there, but he sees me. And he always wants to chop it up with me, right? No matter how busy it is, no matter how hot it is, he wants to stop me and chop it up with me. And damn near every time it goes to Boosie. He asks me, why don't I listen to Boosie? And I don't know. He says he's friends with Boosie, right? And I don't know. Again, I don't know what Boosie did to this dude. But he says Boosie is his greatest rapper of all time. Great. I'm not going to argue with you, bro. Why don't you listen to Boosie? I don't listen to Boosie, dog.
That ain't my cup of tea.
That's not my cup of tea. Shout out to you. But I'm not arguing with dudes about stuff like that anymore. But go ahead, Jesse. I know you want to talk. Go ahead. Let it off. Or Rell, actually, Rell, you want to?
Let Rell go first.
Yeah. I respect debates now at this point in my life. That's why anybody who don't agree with you doesn't mean they're wrong. You just have to understand different perspectives. So I would, tell people who, now that I've gotten further away, like who my favorite rapper is, and they'd be like, okay, well, I'm like, you can get anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like saying Ice Cube and Biggie, you can honestly argue that.
That's
you can argue that, but it just Yayo. Like
Yayo was into it. Yayo was making it seem like he was dumb for picking him, and that's what was bothering me.
Yayo was like. He's the Kevin Bacon of rap, He's just connected. He's connected to everybody.
If somebody said Tony Yayo was your favorite rapper, how would you guys?
Bacon?
Bacon? You know how they always say it's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, okay.
Gotcha, and that's how I feel about Tony Yayo. Where everybody is 6 degrees of Tony Yayo, where it's like everybody is somehow connected to Tony Yayo at some point, old, new. And this is what makes him a great storyteller.
He kept on reciting the same lines too, like it was just so hard.
Yeah,
and it was. Go ahead, Jesse.
They could have cut it. They could have cut an hour out of them niggas just going back and forth, telling them how much they love being on each other's platform. Like, just cut an hour out, nigga, and get to the fucking story.
Not everything got to be recorded. I'm with you on that one. Well, I guess I don't want to go off or anything, but my thing is like, you forgot to say the argument actually changed.
It did.
He went from who's your favorite rapper?
Yes.
And he said Ice Cube. And he's like, are you serious? He's like, who's the best? He's like, who's your favorite rapper?
The crazy thing is too, Jesse, not to cut you off because I know you're rolling.
Yeah, huh?
What
And then
somebody
he's like,
says, who's your favorite rapper, and they say a West Coast rapper, and then they say I was born on the West Coast. That kind of like diffuses it a lot of times. People be like, all right, like you say Pac, right? And I'm
well,
like, I'm from the West Coast. That's my guy.
no, hey, you say you're from the West Coast. He said I was born, but
He
grew
said
up
he's born on the West
Miami.
Coast.
So everybody was thrown off by it because it was like, bro, you don't, you you didn't
So?
live there. But what he should have said, it's not the I was born in the West Coast. I have a West Coast family. That's what he should have said because he was born in California and he had people that listen that you grew up listening to that. Like, because how did you end up listening to it? Because your family listened to it. Somebody you know and listened to it. And that's how you got into that person. You know what I mean? To say I was born on the West Coast means what? I was born on the West Coast. I favor New York rappers.
Well, that's because something wrong with you.
Like, anyways, it's just one of those things where here's how I see it. As I go back and I think about all the Ice Cube I've listened to, I'm not gonna sit there and act like I know his full catalog or anything. He is an amazing storyteller. He's an amazing storyteller. That was the argument switched to amazing storyteller. He's like, who's the best storyteller? And it's like, yes, Biggie, arguably,
Bugging.
Arguably,
Get out of here.
I don't even.
Watch out.
Here's the thing. I don't even know how to really. Okay,
I think Ice Cube's a better storyteller than Biggie.
I think, which is fine, but I'm like, it's not really the story that's being told. It's how he tells it.
I just think more so. I'm thinking about Ice Cube writing shit from like cruising down the street, my 6'4". That's a story, and he wrote that. You know, like like that. That's where I'm. That's where I'm like, it was like it's a debate.
Today is a good day. I mean, obviously, it's like real pop at this point, but it's like one of the greatest easy going storytelling songs of all time.
Yes, but you know, I mean, like, you know, Biggie telling the story, you know, Hypnotized telling the story how he used to read Word Up magazines, or you know, Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit is an awesome story. It's an awesome storytelling. Like, we're not comparing these two because like they're both goats, they're both legends. My thing is, why was Tony Yayo so offended that that somebody had the gall to say Ice Cube was on the same storytelling or level as
here's my thing about what he's doing. Like, it's that New York shit where it's like Biggie. That's why he changed the argument. Biggie's the best storyteller, and EFN went, but you know, everything. I think Ice Cube is better. Which is like he has the one big argument. Ice Cube has had the opportunity to have more albums. But the thing about it, and he had NWA, and you know what I'm saying? Even though Biggie had Junior Mafia, but it's like one of these things where
but even when they both were alive, we saw Ice Cube write for more people than Biggie did. Like, I don't know how many people were like Ghost wrote for Biggie, or I mean, that Biggie Ghost wrote for, but Ice Cube pen was deep in the early 80s and in the 80s and 90s. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying in the sense
for other people though, not even for his shit, for other people.
Oh no,
rhymes.
I'm simply just saying we know all of that stuff, and it's like one of these things where I'm like, why do I love Biggie as a storyteller? I think Biggie's one of the best storytellers. It's not even like his storytelling is amazing. Just how just telling you read that story.
Like, I don't know why that's a thing. Anyway.
But my thing is, no, I love storytellers. So when it's one of those things, like that's one of my favorite forms of rap, where you can put me in there and you're telling a story.
Just go down the list.
Storyteller too. What? But what I'm trying to, even Lupe is a great storyteller. But my thing is, what I was trying to say is just like
normal time. J. Cole.
I think Biggie, it's the way he delivers the story versus the way Ice Cube delivers the story. Where Biggie kind of sounds like he's reading from a book and story. Like, it's like that. It's one of those things. It's how he flows. That's what I love about Biggie the most. But it's not even like, you know, to say who's the better rapper. Like, I think personally, as Ice Cube went on, I think Ice Cube is criminally underrated. I
feel like he's underrated worldwide, but people on the West Coast know what's up. We know.
But the thing is,
there's no. He's
Biggie should. I mean, not Biggie, but
I'm putting Ice Cube up against anybody in rap. Period.
But no, what I'm trying to say is Ice Cube shouldn't be people on the West. Ice Cube is bigger than people on the West Coast because
West Coast,
people
yeah.
on the East Coast, people in Atlanta, people in the South were sitting there listening to NWA.
Bow Down was number one on the East Coast radio station.
Yeah, and they were listening to NWA. So it's not one of those we know on this. They know what he was been doing.
Yeah,
it's just.
But I just feel like he's overrated over there. While we know they need to be reminded. In my opinion,
it was surprising to hear EFN say Ice Cube. Well, it wasn't surprising because when I listened to the Ice-T interview, he already said Ice Cube was his favorite rapper. I guess when I listened to that one, it surprised me to hear that finally somebody puts like Ice Cube always gets brought up, and it's like, oh right, yeah, yo, it's like he's an afterthought. Like, and it's like Rell said, everything he's done is.
No disrespect to Snoop, but they bring up Snoop before Ice Cube, and I love Snoop, but Snoop has bigger hits, but like we know what's up, man. We know.
What would y'all think of these are two of my favorite rappers. What would y'all think of a Cube Nas versus?
I was just gonna say this, but I was gonna say more. We found maybe this is Busta. Maybe this is Busta's opponent right here. I think Busta will get washed.
I think Nas is a better opponent for Cube than.
I don't want like.
I think Cube wins that. I gotta ooh. I think Cube. Nas got some great ones.
Rell just got offended. I think. Well, we know Busta wants to see this is, and I'm glad you brought.
I'll say this. No, I say with
the world needs a reminder. Cube, in my opinion, should do a versus because the world needs a reminder.
Oh yes, definitely.
The world needs a reminder who came on there and put us like how everybody when Jada and when the Locks did theirs. And like some people had the Locks where they were, but they had to remind niggas.
Mario had to murder Mario.
I mean, if you want to do that too, Mario had to remind. But I think that was more Omarion hurting himself than Omarion just kicking his ass. I think Omarion hurt himself, and that was a self-inflicted wound.
It was just a watermelon.
Sure,
that was self-inflicted wounds with Omarion.
Sure he did. He was running out of songs real quick.
It was self-inflicted wounds with Omarion.
Did like 6 times. Touch like 4.
I think the world needs an Ice Cube reminder, and I think.
I agree.
know Busta wants it. I don't know if Cube want to do it. I haven't heard him talk about a versus situation.
Money got to be right. I mean, the most recent talk was
I think Diddy that's it. Their same era. New York versus LA. I know Busta's from what part of New York is Busta from? I'm sorry. I always forget what part.
Bushwick.
Bushwick. Yeah.
I thought it was from Jamaica.
But, I don't know.
I think that would be fly, but yeah. All right, so that's it with the not list. Longest, probably our record longest not list that we've ever done. So let's do sneaker news real quick, and then we can get to these SBs, and then we can get up out of here. All right, so sneaker news. We haven't done sneaker news in a while, and again, whenever that happens, I always blame myself because I guess I'm supposed to be the one to bring up sneakers, but whatever. All right, so sneaker news. Let's talk about sneaker leaks first. So this week, I only want to this is a leak. This is a rumor. Nike hasn't officially came out and shown these yet. So I don't want to have, how leaks can be, and then when the final product is out, they can change shit. Okay. And then how they change shit, and it could change shit when the product officially comes out. But there has been leaked images of the Devin Booker signature shoe, and it looks like a Janowski. It doesn't look great.
It looks like SBs.
I want to shoot Devin Booker some bail, though. Let me find it again.
It kind of fits him because he's not a flashy dresser. It's just an ugly shoe. Like, I hope, and most things you see, like when they leak like this, it's usually it. But
things usually change. Like, again, I don't want to hold this against them. So For those who are watching on YouTube, let me give you a little shot. I'm gonna show the black one. The orange one doesn't do this shoe any favors. So if you're watching on YouTube,
There's literally no design on the shoe. It
um,
almost looked like a fucking Cortez almost.
yeah, it gets Cortez. It looks. I'm again. This is how I'm gonna shoot him some bail before I talk about this the product that I see. It looks like a sneaker. It looks Roshi Run-ish. It looks like a shoe that you probably wear off the court a lot more than on the court. And I say that because just looking at this side, there's no inner shot, so I don't know. But it doesn't even look like it has a carbon. It doesn't look like it has a carbon shank plate, which if you hoop and technical and the intricacies of sneakers, you want a carbon shank so you can turn fast, right, on your shoe. It looked like it's just foam. It doesn't look. It looks like there's no zoom in the heel, but I could be wrong. If it is, it's very embedded in the sole, which means you're barely gonna feel it. But it looks like a taken down model, and this is when I used to tell Rell 4 years on this podcast where I feel like there's too many signature athletes. Not every good person needs a signature shoe, and this is one of the reasons why. And I'm gonna stamp this.
No, I mean, not to cut you off, but it's not really more. Your point is proven, but at the same time, it's more so Nike being a billion-dollar corporation that's being fucking lazy. Like, I believe that there's more designs and concepts that they're not tapping into. You mean to tell me that that's all you came up with, being Nike?
Everybody's first sneaker looks similar to like Josh sneaker is really a takedown model of anything we've seen of a Kyrie brand. Like these, your number one, your first sneaker has the lowest tech. It doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in it. This is just how the business goes. But this is what I wanted to say. And now that last week I talked about how they announced that they're relaunching the Kobe brand, right? They're relaunching it, and we don't know what specifically that means. We don't know if that just means they're just going to be bringing out Kobe's signature. We don't know if that's just entails that they're going to be bringing Kobe sneakers like how they used to do it, or if Kobe's going to get his own like personal line, which we all know after his passing that was going to be the case. It looked like he was planning to leave Nike and start his own brand. I would have loved, and I thought this would have been perfect for Devin Booker to be the face of the relaunch of Kobe. As much as he is a Kobe guy, as much as he's, he models his game after Kobe, I'm gonna just go ahead and say he's the closest thing we have to Kobe in this game as far as a player that has his similar game as a mid-range assassin that can also shoot three, that is unguardable in isolation. I think Devin Booker would have been perfect to be the person to relaunch the Kobe brand. And now, since Jason Tatum has his own signature shoe, and Giannis has his own signature shoe, and all these people have their own signature shoes now, we're probably, no disrespect, we're probably gonna get DeMar DeRozan, the person that has always rocked the new Kobe's, or AD. It might be AD. They might give it to AD to show us the new Kobe's. And I just think that's, again, Devin Booker's doing what's best for him. He probably his whole life wished on having a signature sneaker, and he has it. So who am I to just say he shouldn't get one?
And I'm all for players.
I feel like
sneakers. I just think these companies should stop being fucking lazy and invest more into the sneakers, into the quality. Like, I'm for it. Like, I want options. I don't want just LeBron's about to retire. John Morant can't seem to put the guns down. And so who the fuck does Nike really have?
KD, Paul George.
He's old. Paul George always injured. Doesn't make me want to buy sneakers. KD's game doesn't make me want to. KD doesn't even play a full 70 games anymore. He doesn't make me want to buy his fucking sneakers anymore.
But I'm saying there, and then if you want to go to the family, you got, another injured player, Zion Wilson. You got Jason Tatum. You got Luka Doncic.
Jordan.
You have options. Like there's.
I love it, and
options.
No, I don't think there's too many.
There's too many options, and
I
then
don't think so.
It's too many options.
Well, I mean, what's a concept, and they just put into a name on it. I like it because I know that there's a bag behind it, and I
I'm
know that
cool
these
with.
dudes.
I like. This is what I like. I like signature clothing from players, like with their name initial, like like Jason Tatum shirts that says JT. I think that's fly. And if you want to get a jumpsuit like that, but like, I'm not gonna buy no Jason Tatum shoe. Even though out of all the Jordan shoes, I think Jason Tatum's look the best. Him and Lucas, but I'm still not buying them. Not me personally. Um, but I feel like the market is just so watered down. But again, that's just my opinion. Missed opportunity, and we'll see how these come. These are leaked images of Devin Booker's signature shoe, slated for 2024, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not even going to show the audience the orange one because the orange one does not look great at all. Wow, it fucking closed on me. Okay, so I wanted to get into Kyrie's new deal, which, holy shit, who knew Kyrie was going to get another signature shoe deal?
Oh yeah, he wants money back now. This motherfucker, man.
All right, so for those who don't know, yesterday it was reported by Nick DePaula, the GOAT, and Sham Sarania, that Kyrie Irving will not only have his own signature shoe with Anta, which is a Chinese shoe brand, and if, for those who don't know, Anta's been in the NBA for years. They've been, they only get like one or two athletes from the NBA that wears them. Klay Thompson's had a signature shoe with them, basically since he's been on the Warriors, ever since he left his Nike deal. Um,
I think we got to shout out
Rondo's
Wade for being the first one to really being the first biggest star to go to Ling Ning when he did.
Rondo, that's true. I think Rondo's had a signature shoe with Anta, if I remember correctly, and I think Dwight Howard had Peak, if I remember correctly. But so the article reads, one of the footwear's industry's most successful signature athletes has landed a new deal with his own namesake sneaker, expected to launch during the upcoming 2024 season. But so not only is he getting his own signature shoe, I think I'm trying to remember the name of the title that he has with this with Anta over the years, blah blah blah. Product innovation. So he's not only going to have his own signature shoe, but he's going to be head of marketing for Anta for the north for over here in America. So that's fly. He's going to have his own.
Is it?
Huh?
Is it fly?
Yeah, but say what makes that fly?
I think that's wow. I think that's a dope deal. I think that's dope. Okay, so this is the title. So the new business collaboration between the two sides will name Kyrie Irving as Chief Creative Officer of Anta Basketball. Along with extensive signature product releases, the partnership will also launch Anta Times Kyrie youth basketball camps around the world, with starting points in both China and the United States. Irving expected to begin the upcoming NBA season in the brand's new Shockwave 5. So he's going to be starting in the shoe called the Shockwave 5. He won't his new signature shoe won't be out until the first quarter of 2024. It's expected to begin an NBA season. So again, I think this is fly. This is one of the first deals that's ever done like this. We've seen a deal. We've seen Steph have a deal like this similar with UA, but Steph has been at UA for over 11 years, 10 years. Steph's been at UA for a minute now. So I think this is dope, especially from everything that Kyrie's gone through. Is weird. Everything Kyrie's done in the past, a couple years, as far as I don't have to go through it. But I think this is a really cool deal for him, and I'm interested to see how the signature shoe looks. Kyrie, despite what you guys think of what everybody thinks of Kyrie Irving, um, he had, one of the most excuse me, successful sneakers in the market for a very, very long time. When you mention his signature line, you have to mention his line with the Kobe's, the Bronze, and you have to, because he was selling sneakers that way. He was, um, and Steph Curry is obviously as well.
And he pissed on
But
it all.
huh?
He pissed on it all.
I mean, we've come in here and talked about Kyrie, man, but he looks like he's shaping up, and I'm actually happy. Again, this is what I'm happy for. I'm happy for if we're gonna get the market full of sneakers. Give me different brands of sneakers. Don't give Nike has 7 signature athlete sneakers. Like, I don't need 7 athletes with sneakers over there. Oh, I forgot to say Giannis, Rel. If you want shoes from Giannis, you can get Giannis. He doesn't get hurt. Well, why aren't you buying Giannis's?
I don't like the concept other than the first ones.
Okay.
I like the PG ones. I just feel like look at all the ones. They hit on the PG ones, the job ones, the Giannis ones. I was waiting on the book ones because I thought they really were going to invest in book because he has an ability to go to another level. He don't get in trouble, and the homie
and
ball.
he was with the Kardashian.
I mean, whatever. But but at the same time, I just thought he was going to be the guy. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just disappointed. I'm pretty disappointed in the book shoes, and so we'll see.
They just lacking creativity right now and just remaking the same shoes over and over. So
it's not
old shoes and new shoes.
I'm a consumer, so I'm also a consumer that hasn't bought a signature shoe, especially of a new athlete, in a long time. I think the last one I bought was like a Giannis, but I think we shall see. I don't even want to talk about the Zion threes.
Aren't even selling like that anymore.
I don't even want to talk about the Zion threes because I don't want to talk about the Zion threes. Google it; it's hideous. And I don't say that a lot about sneakers. It's a leak image
don't
too.
Don't worry, we won't see him a lot this year.
It's a leak sneaker too.
We won't see
that. I mean, we might see a home video of him pretty soon. Anyway, the SBs happened yesterday.
Mariah might be wearing them. Miss Mills may be wearing them. So
shout out to Miss Mills. So we'll end it on this. So the SBs happened yesterday. The crazy thing about the SBs, it always sneaks up on me. I always remember it happens in the dead time of sports where basketball's gone, football's gone, and it's literally just
the day sports stands still. It's always on that day.
Yeah, it's always on that day.
No baseball, no nothing.
I don't want to. We don't necessarily have to go through everything that happened in SBs because I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch. Jesse, I think I already asked you. You said you didn't watch. Rel, did you watch? Okay, so Rel watched. But I'm gonna just start at the top. Let me start before I get to the actual show here on the West Coast. Fuck whoever decided to have the SBs play on the East Coast first and hear us on the West Coast get all the fucking updates of all the winners. So that was one of the reasons why I chose not to watch it, because I was seeing winners.
It was on the West Coast. They were just announcing winners.
Yeah, that's the weird part about it. It was also on the West Coast.
The show, I know, the show did not start here on the West Coast until 8:00, but they were announcing winners hours before. It was playing hours before.
It was because it was at 5.
Yeah,
usually they do a 5:00 and an 8:00 because they want to do it live.
They re-aired it over here at 8:00.
For some reason, they didn't want to do it live.
They didn't want to do it live. I guess anything could happen, but it was just the most strangest thing, and it gave me another reason to just not tune in. But I saw clips, so we're here. So I just wanted to bring that out because whatever. Pat McAfee. So Pat McAfee came out and did the open monologue. I thought it was pretty good. I like that he came out and initially said that Kevin Hart was supposed to be the original host / person that does the monologue, but he wanted to stand in solidarity of the writers and actors, so he did not. and then he joked and said it was either him or Stephen A. Smith, and he said they got him. So, but yeah, I thought the monologue was pretty good. I'm not the biggest McAfee person. Like I didn't watch him until he's now with ESPN. I'm gonna be honest with you. Obviously, he was my punter on the Colts for a very long time. Um, but I've just I didn't really watch him like that. But I thought he was funny. He had some really funny what jokes. I'm trying to think of what jokes stand out. Um,
Him and Stephen A. one stands out because those are the two richest on the.
that was Rich's on the that was funny.
Um,
Um,
except
oh,
for
he made a Zion joke that the crowd necessarily didn't thought was funny, but they also thought it was weird to laugh about. He made a little Zion Instagram model joke situation that I thought was funny. Everybody was gonna do that. Like that's on the tee. That's on the tee. You knew that was coming.
Also, people are there with their wives and stuff. It's like, hey, yo, chill, Pat. Don't bring up side pieces around here.
He made a joke about the Denver Nuggets having everybody there that is not from Serbia. I thought that was dope. Oh, one thing. There was two Denver. I mean, I don't know all the Denver Nuggets that was there, but I saw Jamal Murray and KCP. The amount of fucking camera time that they gave fucking KCP during this whole fucking ESPYs was fucking ridiculous. It was probably the most airtime he's ever gotten, period, in his life. The amount of times they went to him,
since he played with the ankle monitor.
So newsflash. So LeBron's not retiring. Who knew that?
Oh, man.
Oh, go ahead, Rell. Jesse, can you believe it? LeBron's not retiring.
Oh my goodness!
When I say I was so happy when he said those words, it just been a stress. I'm like, really.
LeBron's not retiring, Jesse. Oh my god!
But I'm glad. But I think overall, I think that's be kind of like I think they gotta kind of switch up the format or something. I mean, you can get the players out. It is good to to have the awards, but because ESPN is becoming a shitty place to be at. As far as like they don't even like
they did a good night though. This was good. They did a solid job.
The best part of the night I think was the Wayne performance because I liked the way he switched up and implemented the wordplay of sports and talking NIL on a Millie song. Angel Reese, I love anytime Angel Reese can when she's in front of the mic, I just love it because she speaks her mind. And obviously the DeMar Hamlin situation that was awesome.
I teared up during the DeMar. I think I told you guys I was like anytime. I was fine once they called his name and he went out there, but then once he started breaking down and then so DeMar Hamlin presented for the Pat Tillman Award for service. He presented the whole training staff for the Buffalo Bills, and all the training staff came out, and he couldn't even he started breaking down after he called them out, and they hugged him for like a whole 2 minutes before anybody on the fucking training staff said anything. And I was sitting here, I was like, I can't see this man without fucking crying. I just think about what almost happened. It's just fucking incredible. Anytime I see that, man, and then when he break down, it makes me break down. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a survivor story, and it's one of those things I teared up too.
I just be like, yo, like
it was interesting. It was like an interesting mirror of what happened when they all rushed to help him on the field.
Yeah, they bum right like he just
consoling, and now they're consoling him on the stage.
God damn!
But the thing, that opportunity,
damn it, man.
But the greatest thing is this: it's a survivor story.
Yeah, and ended with a happy ending.
All that matters. I know people are probably I'm not gonna say negative shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, no negative stuff.
I mean, as far as Pat McAfee go, like, I hope all this shit gets solved. You can tell that we on a strike.
That wasn't some of his best work with the jokes.
I mean, for a while. I mean, since like Jamie Foxx came out there and told Serena he wanted to be her tennis ball. You know what I'm saying? He told, remember that? When Jamie Foxx said, I want to be a tennis ball. Like, this moment like that, like
I would never
sports,
forget when Drake hosted and he did that Side Pieces song. That shit was like
it's just so
classic.
funny. Like the
That
host
shit, I can
of
watch
the
that all
ESPYs
day.
is like, I don't know. It became like I don't know, better than the Oscars almost to me. Like I would rather watch the host of the ESPYs do his monologue, probably because I'm so enamored with sports. So,
Right.
but
All right. So some of the notable winners. Best athlete went to Pat Mahomes. Best breakthrough athlete went to Angel Reese. Best comeback athlete went to Jamal Murray. Um, best rec. I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but I'm gonna touch on it a little more. So obviously LeBron and the whole Banana Boat crew was there to not only salute their brethren, Carmelo Anthony, on his retirement for 20 years, but it was really like, so I'm being positive. I'm not gonna say anything negative about Carmelo. Um, but they also recognized LeBron for best record breaking performance, and again, call me a sap, call me a sucker, call me a softy, whatever, but just seeing his entire family on the stage, seeing Savannah, who doesn't do anything publicly like that, she like just stands to the side, she loves just being to the side and letting Bron do him stuff, and then seeing Bryce and Bronny and Zuri be on stage and present their dad with the record breaking performance. I thought that was dope. And then obviously, surprise, surprise, he announces that he's not. The crazy thing about the not retiring thing, if you guys watch his stories,
He's not retired.
if you watch his stories, right? So last weekend, this was last weekend. I just happened to be up at 4 o'clock. I think Lennox got up, so I got up, so I was up. But I was up at like 4 or something, right? He posted he was working out. He did like a whole like workout normal when he's doing an off season video situation. He had a basketball. He was working out, and I promise you, the video was up for like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Then I went back to his story, and it was gone. And it's almost like in his mind, he was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't tell people that I was back yet." Situation. It's like, "Oh yeah."
His mine or his boys got back to him and was like,
"I don't know." It was early in the morning. He just probably turned on his phone, and then in his mind was like,
I saw that he posted that. I mean,
"Oh yeah," he posted a video. He was working out. He was in the gym working out. Shirt off, doing his normal workout.
I'm saying, are you sure it ain't one somebody that was like, "Yo"?
He could just be working out. Nobody really knew.
He had a basketball in the background.
I'm talking about the video.
He was clearly doing on court. He was,
but I'm saying,
before he did on court shit. And then, like I said, the video was up for like 10 minutes.
Stay in shape. Bron's gonna stay in shape his whole life.
The video was up for like 10 minutes, and then I finished the story, and then I tried to go back to it because I was like, oh shit, I just got a new medicine ball at the crib. Let me see what workout he doing on the medicine ball, and the video was gone. I was like, oh, I know what time it is.
I just think somebody was like, "Yo, remember you put up the illusion that you was gonna retire?" And he was like, "Oh, right."
All right. We was gonna do Emmy stuff, but I think we can do that. We can save that for next episode, like say that for next episode.
Plenty of time.
We got plenty of time to talk Emmy.
No writers.
There's like the writers and actors on strike, so we got plenty of time to talk.
Writers and actors, so
I will say this, Jesse. I normally don't watch the Emmys, but I 100% will watch this year's Emmys because I know there are going to be a lot of people talking about the strikes, and I think that'll be dope. They'll bring a lot more awareness to the strikes. If there's a show.
They're not going to
That said, they might not be a show.
It might not be a show.
It might not be.
Or maybe out of respect, they'll go, but there are no writers. I don't even think they'll have presenters because presenters that's mostly actors.
That's gonna be very, very strange. All right, so thank you guys, especially for those who have gotten to the end of the podcast. We miss you. Thank you. This is anybody that always makes it to the end. I always think because again, I look at the numbers and I see how long people listen and watch the show. For anybody that makes it to the end, I always think you're dope, and I always salute you. We appreciate you guys. For Jesse, For real, I'm Kev. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. We're those millennials, and we're out.